Hello, I'm Reverend Karen Davis of First Christian Church. When you think of the Sabbath, most often people think of, oh, that's Sunday. That means going to church. When we think of a Sabbath, it is a time of rest and renewal. And what does that mean for you? Of course, we take the opportunity to rejoice and to give thanks for all that God has done for us, to offer our worship and praise. But it means even more than that. It means a time to focus on God's work, and sometimes that means focusing on ourselves, to take a break, to do the things you enjoy, whether it's putting on your sweats and lounging around the house, putting on your sweats and engaging in your favorite sports activity, or maybe going to a concert or doing something else that rejuvenates you and helps you to feel renewed. Maybe just nothing at all. Maybe it means getting out your favorite beverage or just simply taking a nap. To have time for the Sabbath, it means to care for ourselves and to reflect on God's love and God's goodness. It may even mean that on that time you are doing service for others. It can mean a variety of things that help you to care for God's creation and to care for yourself. This week, as we read from Mark's Gospel, chapter 2, verses 23 through chapter 3, verse 6, we see where Jesus is performing an act of healing and care on the Sabbath. And those around him criticize him because they strictly interpret that to be going by the letter of the law, rather than seeing it as a time that God has intended for us to care for ourselves, to care for one another, to care for creation. And that may mean that it's a time in which we go beyond how it's been strictly interpreted. So I encourage you to spend some time reviewing, what does it really mean to observe the Sabbath? What does that mean for you? And what is God's intention for you on the Sabbath? How can you best use that time for yourself and to honor and glorify God? Let's put aside any rules or preconceived ideas of what that means and instead reflect upon how God would best want us to use that for ourselves and for one another, to build up God's kingdom and to build up God's people. I invite you to reflect this week on how you can use the Sabbath to honor God, to care for yourself, and to care for one another. May God continue to encourage you and revitalize you so that you go forth refreshed and renewed, ready to serve God and God's people.